Hello everyone and welcome to episode 4 of Twisted Leagues. So for a bit of context, I just got up and it is Christmas Eve today, which means there's about 3 weeks of Twisted Leagues left, but there's still a lot I want to do, because in the last episode I made a bunch of progress and I got 5k points unlocking the final relic. Now that I have this relic, I can start doing combat and do it a lot better because all my attacks are going to be a tick faster. So since the last episode, I did spend last night at the Woodcutting Guild and got to 75 woodcutting. I was going to go for 80, but then I realized I still have those Wintertide crates to open, and while I did want 80 to improve the loot, there's also a chance I might get a Dragon Axe. So just on that slim chance I do, I think I'd rather hold off on getting 80 so I could use the Dragon Axe for 80, rather than be 80, get a Dragon Axe, and have no further woodcutting goals, because I probably will stop most skills at 80, just because 99 is such a grind still. Like, the difference between 80 and 99 is huge, and 99s aren't that many points compared to the time it would take. So, yeah, that's kind of my plan with skills. I'm not sure how many will even get to 80. But I also was kind of reviewing what I have to do, and pretty much it's going to be a lot of combat, a lot of Slayer, and a lot of Clue Scrolls. But I think one of the end goals I do want to try and go for is the hard diary, because it's not that hard. I need 100% Sagian, a few more mining levels. 70 smithing will be a hard one, but I'm pretty sure since I have 10 times experience, it's not going to be that bad, and I also do have a ton of ores banked. But for the moment, I want to train range. If you look at my inventory, ignore the strength potion that was from a random as I was setting up the recording, I have a bunch of range stuff. And, yeah, I'm actually not sure what's better at the moment because I'm 13 range. I think I might want to hold off a bit on knives just so I have a little more accuracy, and I do have all these short bows to burn through. But if you check, I have sand crabs as a Slayer task still. So I want to, actually, let's go with the bow first. So yeah, well, one, I want to show how this works because I haven't used the relic yet, but yeah, it's pretty powerful. So I don't have a lot of ranged armor, sadly, because most of that would come from Clue Scrolls, but I'm going to stay here, train up my range, and then I'm probably going to head back to Brimstone, Mount Kourend, whatever you want to call it, and get another Slayer task, but this time it won't be sand crabs because there's another goal I'm after. I had some breakfast and finished my Slayer task, and I got a decent bit of points from that. So I ended up getting both 20 and 40 range milestones, 20 Slayer, 1,250 total level, and I also did get some easy Clue Scrolls from it as well. But after I finished my Slayer task, I went over to the farming guild real quick. I got a farming level, hit 50 farming contracts, and mixed up some potions for an herb lore level. And then I came here to Brimstone, or Mount Kourend as it's properly called. It was called Brimstone in the dev blogs. Anyway, but the reason I'm here is actually not for Slayer. It's for crafting. Because this is the best furnace to a bank in all of Twisted Leagues, at least that I'm aware of. So I still have a bunch of crafting stuff left over. And if I actually just look in the bank here, so I have a lot of gold ore, and that will give some smithing experience, but if I use it with these gems, and I did already grab all the molds for my player-owned house, that should get me a good bit of crafting experience. Hopefully it can get me to 60, and also have some silver bars I can use up in tiaras or holy symbols, whichever is more experience. And then once I have 60 crafting, I think I'll be ready to open all those Wintertide crates. I think I have 136 Wintertide crates. And from those Wintertide crates, I will be using supplies as I go. Like, if I get gems, I'll cut them so my crafting level goes up, so I hopefully get a bit better of gems. If I get herbs, I'll mix them into potions, because if you look here again, I have a good bit of secondary stocked up for at least the common potions, or the potions I'm interested in mixing. Also did booze to use my Catentines and clean my Latentines and make some super defense potions. But yeah. So pretty much my plan is I'm going to craft some jewelry, then then once I get my crafting up, I'll open the crates and then use the supplies as I get them, and then I'll come back and show you what I got from all those crates. So hopefully this works as planned. All the crates have been opened, and I have to say, I kind of was hoping for a bit more, but I still got a decent bit. Before I opened the crates, I did manage to get 60 crafting, and from the crates I got 62 crafting, and I think like a couple herb lore levels. So not that much. I probably could have got more, but if I just skip ahead here, I kind of ran low on vials, so I just kind of stopped focusing on herb lore as much. I don't think I had enough to get another level anyway. But if we start at the top here, well, one, I got a good bit of cash. That's good because I still needed the 100k for the mine cards because I kind of had it and spent it. So, good bit of cash. aside from that, I did get burnt pages, but I didn't really get, a tome, so that's not really helpful. If you come down here, you'll see my luck with Wintertod on Leagues is about as good as it is in the main game. So I got 3 gloves and 3 torches, just like I have in the main game, and I got 2 pieces of Pyromancer, just like I have in the main game. I mean, I think I technically have a higher KC on Leagues, but I have more points on the main game because I did boost games. But still, I was hoping maybe I'd get a full set, but nope. And it would be later in the bank, but I also didn't get a Dragon Axe. So I was kind of hoping I had the full set for the points, but I'm not going back to Wintertod. I'm just going to leave it there. And I think it's kind of fitting I didn't get any luckier with Wintertod on Leagues than I did in the main game. Just got the tench here. Scrolling down, I did mix up some potions, as you can see, and I do have a good bit of seeds. Actually, where's the Renar seeds? Yeah, I did have a good bit of Renar seeds. Snaps aren't as useful because I don't have the secondary for it yet, but they will be useful later, especially if I can kill Sphracnus. And I did get a good bit of tree seeds, too. Even magic seeds, so that will be very good for farming experience if I can keep up with that. And, of course, a decent bit of herbs. Not a ton. If you come down here, I also did get a good bit of food, especially sharks, a good bit of logs. And I am happy with the ores, mainly a gold. I was hoping more coal and, so I could make more of those ores and get, like, mithril and adamant bars. But that's not too big of a deal. And that's still, I think that's a little more iron than I had before, because I had all the iron from mining. And I did get a lot of gems, and I also did make some jewelry. I made some rings for Rings of Forging, because I do want to make them. And I wanted at least one Ruby amulet, but the rest was just for experience or what I could make. Now, I am a little disappointed. I did not get a lot of saltpeter, so I have to go get the saltpeter still for the dynamite, and also use a little too much of my wool, so I'll have to get some more balls of wool. That's not too hard to get, though. And that's really about it. So, I was really hoping I get a little more from those crates, but I don't know, I think it's good enough. So, but yeah, so now there is actually 3 paths I can go for. I labeled them the Shazian path, the minecart path, and the magic path. So the minecart path is pretty much I get saltpeter and I finish the Lovakenge favor and unlock the minecarts. So I don't really want to head over there and mine or shovel the saltpeter right now because I have to do a lot of that. So I'm probably going to hold off on that one. The Sagian path is more of just finishing the Sagian quest, getting to 100% favor, and finishing the medium diary. And that's something I can do, but the path I'm interested in pursuing right now is the magic path. Because actually, so my plan was, instead of more sand crabs, I was going to get a hill giant task, because I needed cosmic runes to enchant these Rings of Forging, and also to enchant a strength amulet. But when I was killing sand crabs, an Essence Impling passed by, and I got some cosmic runes off it. And because I have the Abyssal perk, those should probably last for as many enchants as I need, because I'll save the runes most of the time. So I'm hoping that will last, but the problem is I also still don't have the magic level, so I still do need to get a Slayer task to Mage. But instead of Hill Giants, I decide to go right for Fire Giants. And the cool thing about that is, if I actually just click down here, don't know where it is, I think up here. There's Fire Giants right down here. So I can just get the task from Konar and then go right for Fire Giants. So that's what my plan is for right now. I'm gonna, instead of doing Hill Giants, I'll go for Fire Giants. I'll mage them with Fire Strike. I'll try and get a Rune Scimitar, and I'm probably gonna keep killing them till I get a Rune Scimitar. In the process, I should get 49 magic, that I can enchant my jewelry, and then I can train smithing here by smithing up all those iron bars. So that's what I'm gonna be working on, and I'll hopefully have a clip for when I get a Rune Scimitar. And I pretty much immediately realized the problem with this plan. So as I was gearing up, I realized I didn't have a boot slot. I'm like, oh, I'll need boots of stone for the dungeon anyway. They're 44 Slayer. So I might even get 44 Slayer before I'm done this task, because it was 150 Fire Giants or something large like that. But that means I need to go kill Fire Giants in the catacombs, because I, physically cannot kill them in this dungeon. And that is kind of a bit of a wrench to the plans, because that also means I won't be, staying in the area to easily come back and do the smithing. So since I have to go all the way to the catacombs, I might end up getting that saltpeter while I'm there and working at the Lovakenge favor before I, pursue a whole bunch of this magic stuff. But that means, I need to make a trek to the catacombs and at least hopefully find the safe spot there. Turns out I was also on the wrong spell book, but I made it here and I've been killing fire giants and I got the rune scimitar, so that's at least one positive thing. But overall, this task is not going as well as I would like, because these are not dying very quickly. I came here for like 500 casts and I'm already down a fair bit. I'm hoping I can just get to 44 Slayer here, even if it doesn't finish the task, because these are very slow to kill. But when I have 44 Slayer, I'll be able to go back to Mount Kourend and finish the task in that dungeon, and hopefully restock runes along the way. Maybe even switch to ranged, because ranged might be faster. I don't know. But aside from getting the rune scimitar and realizing I was on the wrong spellbook, I have been getting a decent bit of prayer experience, and I got base 10s, and I also got 40 hit points, and of course I have the magic now to enchant those rings and other things. So yeah, but it's been a pretty slow task. Well, I finished killing fire giants in the catacombs and been doing a bunch of stuff, so I thought I should do a little bit of an update. So I not only managed to get 40 Slayer, but 44, so when I resume the fire giant task, I can go to Brimstone, or Mount Kourend, because I still have 90 fire giants left. I started with like 140 or 150, so yeah, this task is going to take quite some time. But I did get a second rune scimitar and 2 law runes, which is my first law rune drop, so that's nice. I also did get 20 prayer, giving me base 20s and 60 magic, but not too much else on the level front. But I have been using some of those supplies from Wintertide. I did cook all the food for one and got a couple levels off that. And I did enchant the jewelry and then sold all the spare jewelry and some other junk around my bag. And luckily I managed to enchant 10 things using only 2 cosmic runes. So this perk is finally starting to pay off, which is good. And I did also gather the saltpeter since I was in the area, and I have been working on my house. So I want to show you what it's been looking like, because it's been a few times where I popped over here and worked on it. So I have the parlor, and I built it up because why not? I mean, there's a collection log in there, but I don't think there's much else there of note. I built a kitchen just because I could and so I could get the boost if needed. And I did use the boost over here to build the incense burners, but I did build a limestone altar, which is the best you can build in Leagues because you don't have access to marble. And one thing I forgot to mention during the Wintertide clip was one of the best things I did get was the 7 limestone, because limestone is pretty important in construction. I say as I wasted on statues, but you need it for the altar, and that was one of the reasons I was opening the crates. And I do have 2 limestone spare. I could use it to make a fireplace, but I'm holding off because I could make a portal chamber, and you need the limestone for the teleport focus at the center. And the reason I'm not sure is because they are going to be adding, also here's the workshop. It's pretty much maxed out besides the last upgrade on this, but I also have an armor repair stand for no real reason. But I could build a portal chamber, like I said, but there's only one portal I can make right now, the Center of Kourend, which I'll have on my Xeric's Talisman soon once I complete the mini-quest. But they are going to be adding the Archaeist teleports to the portal chamber soon. Unfortunately, that might be like a week before Leagues ends, but that does mean I could build a teleport to the battlefront in my house and just stay on the normal spellbook, which could be advantageous. So I'm going to hold off and save those limestones. Not like a fireplace is really going to benefit me anyway. And if it works out that, you know, I have the money and the runes to do that, I might. Or it might be by that point it's just too late in Leagues and, you know, the Battlefront teleport is not going to help me anyway. But, yeah. So now I'm going to actually probably finish up the Lovakenge favor. Because, well, I have all the stuff I need to make the dynamite. And probably head back to Mount Kourend, because I need to do some smithing there, and I also will do the rest of my Slayer tasks there. As I was working my way back across Zeah, I decided to take a few detours. The first was I made the dynamite and complete the Forsaken Tower, cutting the magic trio out there for 100 points. I also restocked my runes and now have 2k cast of Fire Strike, 1k of Firebolt, and 250 of Fire Blast, which should last me a while. And I also did make some progress on the final quest, the Tales of the Righteous, because I had to do that in Archaeus, so I did that while I was there. But for now, I think I will continue my plan just to head back to Mount Kourend and work on smithing and Slayer. Oh, and I forgot to mention that gave me enough favors so I can start the minecarts, so I will grab those scrolls and start working on that, but I probably won't run around and do them all right now. After returning to Mount Kourend, I smelted up all that iron. I still need to smith the bars later on, though, and I finally finished that Fire Giant Slayer task, which took quite some time. However, I was going to get my new tasks now, but one thing I noticed is I don't have the option for sand crabs anymore. I definitely had a sand crab task, and it's supposed to be on this list, but I even checked by turning the combat restriction off, or on, whatever the proper way to term it is, and yeah, it's not on here anymore, which is a little bit of a wrench in my plans, because I was going to just go back to easier tasks like sand crabs to train up my stats. But since I can't do that, it either would be hill giants or sulfur lizards. I just am not sure if I'm strong enough to take on sulfur lizards. But since they're close by, I guess I'll try them. 61, hopefully not going to be too bad. But the other thing is, I did get a brimstone key and a gold bar from a random event, but mainly the brimstone key. So let's see what I get. Well, that's completely useless to me. Well, maybe not completely. No, pretty much completely useless, because my magic short bow can't even fire dragon arrows, and I doubt I'm going to end up with something like a twisted bow or a third age bow that can. So, oh well. But at least I got a key. That's something, I guess. But now I do want to see if I could start training at my melees. I want to get to 40 attack at the rune scimitar, get my defense up, and, just make some more progress with melee so I can fight more things. And also train at my range. But if the sulfur lizards don't work well enough, I might try hill giants, but I'm probably going to spend some time over the next, day or so just training up combat doing Slayer tasks, so I might not have a whole bunch of clips. I completed that sulfur lizard task and got 40 attack and defense in the process, but they were still hitting me a bit too much and I make a few trips of food, so I decided to go back to sand crabs for a while, partially to also get some easy clues because they're probably the best easy clue dropper in the league. But I ended up getting 50 attack, 50 defense, and 51 range there, also a strength level. So hopefully that will mean I'm a little better able to handle tasks like sulfur lizards now, because I don't want to do too much sand crabs, because, well, one, they don't have bones so I don't get prayer experience, and two, they're not helping my slayer level, because the one thing I don't want to do is I'm trying to avoid getting to like 60 attack and then not being able to have a dragon weapon, because most of the dragon weapons, or like all of them, will come from slayer. So I ideally want to get my slayer up so I can fight worms and hopefully get a dragon sword, even though that's very rare, and also have a chance of, getting the brimstone keys and the dragon hasta. So I'd probably be sticking to slayer for now, and I have a hill giant task at the moment. I'll probably do hill giants for a bit, but I might go back to sulfur lizards so I feel I have a bit better of gear to handle it, but my lacking melee armor probably is also hurting me. Aside from that, I did get a fair bit of stuff done. I did finish the Lovakenge minecarts and got my favor done there. And I also did a bit of Shazian favor because now, if I talk to him, just span through the conversation. There we go. So there is Tales of the Righteous. And if I use this scroll, this will get me to 40% favor, so now I can start doing the intel and work on finishing Shazian favor and also the medium diary. But this is where I'm going to end off this episode, because it's, getting a bit long, and I feel like this is enough progress for now. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode and finally get into combat. There's still a lot more to come now that I'm just kind of starting up the Slayer. But yeah, hopefully it's going to go well. And I also do have a good bit of clues I probably should get to soon, because I need some gear upgrades. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Until next time, goodbye.